So we've got to talk about Tesla.
What's going on today?
Well, they've got earnings coming up.
Oh, is there any special news?
Well, we're going to find out as we go through the questions of the day. Basically, if you guys don't know, Tesla, all the kind of shareholders, they submit their questions they want Elon to answer, and we've got them right here. There's 1,504. We're not going to go through all of them, just the top ones, and they actually go by the top ones.
Yeah.
So, for example, first one. Today, there are 90 million cars sold globally each year, okay? Does Tesla have a view based on its robotaxi ambition, what this number will be in 5 or 10 years, and how does it impact the Tesla's EV strategy to have more models? So the basic question is, 90 million cars a year, are we all going to switch over to robotaxis, basically? What do you think? Stop buying cars? Are you going to drive a robot, or not drive, but ride in these things?
Are you gonna do that?
Am I going to ride in a robotaxi?
Actually, their kind of ideal situation is everyone buy robotaxi, and when you sleep, they're working. That means kind of everyone has robotaxi, but you only ride your robotaxi.
Yeah, so when he first started rolling these things out, or the idea would be, first we buy a Tesla, like the actual just regular car, and then he'll flip a switch, and then while you're sleeping, your regular car can become a taxi. But then they kind of changed it to be like, we're going to sell you a special car just to be the taxi with no pedals and no steering wheel. So you can't actually drive it, which may or may not ever be legal. There's a whole bunch of problems with that. Okay, so just to be fair, I have a real conversation about this. I think younger people don't like cars so much anymore.
Because we always like to look in our phone than driving.
But what percentage of that? It's anyone's guess. I grew up in an era where I actually do enjoy driving. But to be fair, when you live in LA or like a busy sort of metro area with traffic, it's not really fun to drive. It's not, because literally you're just bumper to bumper and just like, I'm just listening to YouTube or podcast or whatever. Like literally you're probably listening to this while you're in the car going to work. But that is an interesting question. I think in 5 to 10 years though, I don't think we're all switching over to robotaxis. That's too soon.
I think so, yeah. And it's not. There will be a more than like robotaxi. I mean, the other robot car.
Right. So that's the other problem is, even if in Elon's world we all go to robotaxis, it doesn't mean we're all going to buy Teslas.
Yeah, and there is Waymo. There will be a Hyundai car.
Yeah, and I promise you there'll be lots of Chinese ones. So there's that. But it's always fun to see what Elon says in 5 to 10 years. Here's another question. Are there still plans to launch new models to address different price segments and vehicle types, which could materially expand the total addressable market for Tesla? So basically, their big sellers are the Model Y. They got the 3. And then they have like the X and the Cybertruck, but they're just such a small part. So they really only have 2 cars, and they're dated. So the question is, are there going to be new models?
I don't know. Do you think so? I don't think so. They're kind of lower their car in Korea and China.
Trying to lower the price of the car. Yeah. So they have demand problems already with their current, but well, okay. If they were going to release a new model, they would have been teasing it for a while. So there's not even like when Apple comes out with new stuff, you kind of hear rumors for like a year or 2 years, whatever, right?
And when they launch a new model, because the covered car kind of driving around in your town. But they don't have it anything.
They're putting all their chips into the robotaxi stuff.
Robotaxi and the robot.
Yeah, and the robot. And then the other question they ask is, because it's always been something that the Tesla people have been asking, is like, when are you going to make an affordable car? They always ask that. It's basically under 25K, and Elon's just not interested in that. It's just not his thing.
Too cheap for Tesla, I guess.
Yeah, they're in trouble because we looked at pricing before. So in Korea, if you go above Tesla, you have like a BMW, you have like a Mercedes. In terms of like pricing, it's like 10,000 more, or Polestar, whatever, right? Volvo.
Even you can get the Lamborghini.
Well, yeah, a lot more. Yeah. So Tesla's not luxury pricing, right? It's just not a luxury vehicle, but it's not a low cost vehicle. It's like a BYD, which comes in like $10,000 cheaper. So they're in this middle segment, and they don't have new models. It's a problem. It's a problem. All right, what else we got? Historically, Tesla has spoken about gross margin per model. Are there standalone gross margin targets for the current models excluding the benefits of FSD sales? Okay. So here's the problem with Tesla right now, and you're going to hear a lot of questions about this stuff. They're trying to go to basically a subscription model.
Only subscription.
And I'm talking about
Even
FSD.
the basic function.
Yeah, that was recent news, I guess. So if you guys have a car, they have these things like lane assist or various things to where like a really good cruise control, basically.
Yeah, very simple one for the safety.
Yeah, right? Sure. So the idea is they're going to turn that part off, and then they just basically all want you to subscribe to get your car to work. It's basically what it is, $99 a month.
And we saw kind of what happened to the Twitter X.
Oh, when you went to the, it's like $8 a month, I think, for that. Yeah, so then the margin thing is an interesting question because you're basically like, can you improve your margins other than software subscriptions? I'm sure Elon will make up some crap, but I think that's going to be tough.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that now is how much?
What's that? The margins?
The FSD.
$99 a month.
Yeah, but they can up, the raise up to like 200.
Yeah, they could.
300.
And I think that's probably likely with inflation, like every year maybe $10 or whatever. I'm sure. I don't think it'll say $99 a month forever. I highly doubt that. But so that was the question: can you do better margins without FSD? And this is the questions that people ask. I don't have the answers for Elon. I'm curious. He's why watching our video, trying to figure out how to make up stuff. Though, here's another one. This is a key question that people are asking. You once said, "Loyalty deserves loyalty." Will long-term Tesla shareholders still be prioritized if SpaceX does an IPO? So what do you think? Why are people asking this? Like, what does it have to do with Tesla?
I think now people don't really care about car anymore. They're more interested on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've already lost the cars. They've lost. I mean, it is a real thing. So it's not just BYD. There's a bunch of Chinese brands, and then I'm telling you guys, the Korean brands are for real. And actually, we have a lot of people in our community that have a Hyundai or Kia or Genesis. What's that?
Toyota is really popular.
Toyota and Honda are also for real, right? And then don't sleep on the German cars. I mean, I don't think
BYD.
and the Chinese car, but I don't think BMW is going to disappear. Or Mercedes. Actually, did you hear Mercedes did a deal with NVIDIA?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, that was the CES.
Oh.
So they're going to come out with they're not doing a robot like taxi thing, but they're going to come up with a better version of self-driving or whatever you want to call it, robot driving. Not a robot taxi, but robot driving stuff. And I wouldn't bet against Mercedes. I mean, they're real companies. Tesla, it's just a stock pumping company. Like literally, the people are asking, okay, if we have Tesla stock, can we buy SpaceX stock? That's basically what they're asking.
Yeah.
Are you going to give us like priority for
Isn't
that?
it? I don't know.
What's that?
It's a total different company. So usually it doesn't work like that.
I'm not sure in history, and you guys can let me know in the comments if people have done something like this. Let me phrase it this way to answer. Elon has been known to shift money around his companies, and it.
But he can do it by himself. But
I was gonna say it should be illegal.
Yeah,
because what's that?
But we are talking about just regular shareholder.
Right. But what I'm saying though is that he is propping up his companies. So for example, if I invest in Tesla, I don't want that money to go to another company. It's owned by Elon, but you're.
But it's not only Elon's company, right?
What's that?
This company.
Well, right. When you're publicly traded, like it's shareholders. You all have ownership in the company. And then essentially what Elon is doing then, he's not working his job. He works at other companies, right? So a normal board of directors would fire someone if you're not showing up to work, or if you're diverting money from from Tesla, from company A, and throwing it to company B. So like for example, I think SpaceX, I think they bought a bunch of Cybertrucks.
Oh.
So there's definitely conflict of interest in that stuff, right? Because when you run a company. Let's say we'll use the example of SpaceX. What's that?
Why do they need Cybertruck? Because they're gonna bring that to Mars.
It's just to keep Tesla. Yeah, right. That's the whole point. And then there was a weird issue it was before where I think Tesla ordered a bunch of chips that you couldn't get or something like that, and then those chips ended up going to XAI.
Yeah.
Right? This kind of nonsense, but the Tesla people, I guess they're into that. So there's that. Here's another question. What is the current bottleneck? So what is the stopping point? Bottleneck to increase robotaxi deployment. So what's holding you back? And personal use unsupervised FSD, the safety/performance of the most recent models, or the people to monitor robotaxis in the car remotely, or something else. So basically, what's slowing you down? So one thing that was really interesting, there was a kid in college. I think he went to like Texas Tech, like he's a college student, right? And Tesla does have some sort of kind of robotaxi app thingy.
Yeah.
And then the kid reverse engineered it. So he basically looked at the coding of the app, and he figured out, I think, don't quote me exactly, but it was something like there's only 12 of these cars total. So, something like that. It might be 20 at the highest, but he figured out like how many cars they have. And so it's really funny because it was really embarrassing for Tesla, because they claim they're going to be like Uber and Lyft, but like you got like 12 of these things.
Yeah, and
What's
plus, just college student hack their system.
Yeah, that's also embarrassing as well. You could sort of make the case. So the reason why that I'm bringing this up is because the bottleneck question would be, why don't you have 1,000 of these on the road? Why don't you have 100,000?
Plus,
what's the holdup? What's that?
First, they promised the no steering wheel, but what if they just put out the car with the steering wheel? Means they're kind of failed their plan, right?
Right. So that the bottleneck there would be, can you not produce the originally promised gold car? Right, is what you're basically saying. He's also mentioning, is the reason why you're not putting out more cars is because it's not safe, or do you not have enough people to monitor said vehicles? Right, because there's always been rumors. You really don't know. So when they did their first, what do you want to call it, like their announcement of the robotaxi thing? Yeah, they had like a bunch of people that looked like they were doing remote controls. And like people would analyze the video, like, see that person back there? What's he doing? Like, you see how he just pushed this button. So, and there's always been jokes about this kind of stuff of like, really his FSD is just going to be Indians in, another country, controlling the set of cars. But it is an interesting question. So that's the question is, why don't you have more of these? What is Elon going to say? So that's a question. Here's another question someone has. After unveiling of the Cybertruck, okay, Musk stated it didn't sell well. Tesla would build a more conventional looking pickup, so like just a normal looking car. How practical would it be to create this design on the Cybertruck architecture? Could it be conveniently built on the existing production lines? Okay, so basically when you design a car, you then have to set up your factory to make that car. And so the question is, can we kind of keep the same factory production line, keep it like Cybertruck, but then change the design to make it look normal? That's a reasonable question.
I think they already stopped the Cybertruck line, isn't it?
Yeah.
No one really buying it now.
They're really in trouble. So the Cybertrucks, the last time I saw the numbers, depending on which numbers you look at, they're down either 50% or like 70% in sales. It depends on like, which numbers be it year over year, month to month, whatever. But point being, they're crashing. I think they're just selling very, very little of these things.
I don't think they're even a line.
So, but that's the question though, is like, should Elon just make a normal looking truck? Would people buy these things? But that's a question.
Yeah.
So they're saying, can you do it? So that's what people are questioning. Okay. Here's another one. Regarding Optimus, so this is the robot. This is what people are interested in. Regarding Optimus, could you share the current number of units deployed in Tesla factories? So how many are you using in your factory? Okay. I bet you it's 0, but he'll lie. We'll see what he says. And actively performing production tests. So they actually even doing something useful. Actively performing production tasks. What specific roles or operation are they handling? So what are they doing? And how has their integration impacted factory efficiency or output? People actually ask this crap. So
they really believe they're...
I bet you they're not doing anything.
Yeah, 0.
I bet the true answer is 0. So the reason why you watch Tesla earnings calls is because Elon, he talks like an idiot. Seriously, he's like, the 5 to 10 years.
But we don't actually,
what's that?
When I see him on Korean news, I don't see him because they cut out all the part.
But do they actually play him talking?
Yeah, when they can cut all the parts, so he looks like speak fluently.
Yeah, when you ever see the guy, he's a moron.
Because
He's a
you know
moron.
when you play whole thing, it's kind of too long and slow. We can't really play whole his speech.
And you guys will know, because when you watch earnings, and we'll watch it, please join by the live stream. But when they hear these questions, he'll take very long pauses. He'll laugh sometimes, right? Or he'll correct himself, which doesn't show up. So there was the one we watched together that was back when they're talking about the Roadster. And do you remember what he said?
Would like to.
Yeah, the question was, what's going on with the Roadster? He would say, we would like to make it. And he said, oh, I mean, we're gonna make it. So that stuff gets cut out when you read in Bloomberg or Wall Street Journal. So yeah, he'll come with all sorts of nonsense. Okay, what is this one? When is FSD going to be 100% unsupervised? He'll just say next year or whatever.
Yeah,
it's always next year.
soon.
Yeah, it'll be next year. Okay, that's his answer. What has surprised you about the robotaxi rollout so far? What factors have constrained fleet expansion today? So saying, why isn't there enough of these things? Which appears to be about 200 vehicles based on public tracking. So I haven't heard the 200 number. I've heard more the 12 to 20 number. So I'm not sure about this one. This could just be some anonymous institutional investor. But maybe they got 200. Let's see what he says. I'll trust the kid at Texas Tech or wherever over that. So they think they got 200 of these things.
200 in America, not the Texas. So it's possible.
Well,
Maybe they include the factory.
yeah, I'm not sure he's getting to 200. But the point he's trying to say is when you get more of these things and why you don't have it. So both questions do relate to the overall question: is why don't you have enough of these things? You promised you got a whole bunch. He makes all. I think it was supposed to be last year. Half America is supposed to be driving his taxis or something. It's always something stupid. All right, what about this one? Elon has been spending significant personal time on Tesla's chip design. Okay. What was forcing function behind this increased involvement? And do you think external chip sales will represent a significant portion of Tesla's valuation by the end of the decade? Talking about in 10 years from now, will Tesla then be a chip maker and sell these chips to other companies? These are the kind of questions that Tesla people ask. Are they gonna start beating Intel and Taiwan Semi and Samsung and Nvidia? Is that their plan? I'm sure Elon will say. Do you know how he answers these questions? It was the same thing.
I don't know.
He'll say Tesla's going to be the most valuable company over the next 5 companies. So combine. He'll say. So basically, so let me make it in the most simplest terms. Elon will say that Tesla will be worth more than Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Netflix, and Google. Add them all together, and Tesla will be bigger than all those 5. It's stupid.
I think because now he's the richest guy in the world, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
So now his ego is too big. So
right.
I'm the number one.
And the reason why I always, kind of, give you iffy answer on richest dude is because he borrows money based on his Tesla stock, so he doesn't actually have the cash, and his stock can go up and down in a hurry. Right now, I mean, these are the questions that people are asking. You can see it's not that much about cars. It's all robotaxis. Are you going to be a chip company? At this point, I don't know why they're not asking.
Give me, the SpaceX.
Oh, the SpaceX stocks. I don't know why they're not asking about flying cars at this point.
Flying car.
I want a flying car. We got to talk about flying car. Okay, what's up? Are chase cars part of the initial driverless rollout? If yes, what milestones are required to remove them? What additional value do they provide beyond a safety monitor? Okay, so a chase cars basically means that the robotaxi will be driving, and there'll be a car behind it at all times to watch it. So is that part of his plan?
I don't know.
So I'm not sure if they're doing that, but I guess evidently maybe they are. Because it would make sense if you're worried about safety. You could just have a basically, so every time there's a robotaxi, there's another car behind it just to make sure things are okay.
Kind of weird.
What's that?
I don't know. Just
like literally, they're asking about chase cars. What's that?
Then it's kind of waste of energy. You just need one car.
Well, if it worked, so clearly it doesn't work.
Yeah. I guess
that's the point. It doesn't work. That's why they have a chase car.
Yeah.
The car is chasing, it's a chase car. That's why it doesn't work. Like you can see from the questions that the people are like, why don't you have enough of these things on the road? Like, is the problem? That's why they're asking, what's the problem? Is the problem you don't have enough people? Is the problem you can't make these things fast enough? What's the problem, etc. I mean, it's all robotaxi stuff. Here's another one. with Robotaxi Live, okay, can you share early unit economics, how much money these things make, basically? Approximate revenue and cost per mile or per ride, whether rides are already contribution margin positive, so are they making money, is it good for the margins? And the main driver / timeline to reach high margin scaled cash flows as the fleet grows and supervision drops. Okay, so the idea would be he puts these things out now, just for example. You need a chase car that costs money. You need a person in the car that costs money. So when can you remove those things and then what will your margins be? Assuming that any of this is profitable at all.
Not at all.
So there's a big problem with this stuff is there's always going to be competition.
Is there the...
What's that?
You can see what's the Waymo's margin, you know. They're doing by
well, Waymo is a it's not public, so we usually just get kind of rumors on that stuff. So here's just real talk about this stuff. So Waymo or say Hyundai. So Hyundai is going to have similar technology as Waymo. They're all using lots of sensors and cameras and things. But basically, Waymo's thing is they put the cameras like on top of a Jaguar or other vehicles, and it's kind of expensive. So I think the car itself might be over 100,000 or 120, something of that nature. But the last time I checked on this, I think they're losing like crazy money, like $1 billion a year, like a ilcho, like really a lot of money.
They're still investing.
Yeah, well, the cars cost too much. They lose money, but people do use the service. Yeah. So it's true. Waymo, people do use Waymo, and people have reported that they like it for what it is, but it's only in certain markets, etc. So the whole margin thing, the problem with Tesla to actually be profitable on this stuff, you have to make the car really cheap. But if you do that, it's a real safety problem. So that's the issue with this stuff. And then people are asking this question here. Can you please tie purchase FSD to owner accounts and locked car? This will help us enjoy any Tesla we drive, buy reward us, and hang in so long for since. Okay, so basically what this stuff is no one wants to rent to test the FSD for $99 a month. Can we just buy it one time and just have it like me not just the car or whatever? So anyway, that's some of the questions that are coming up in Tesla earnings. Please join us for the live stream. I always like to listen to this stuff with you guys because it's the most hilarious stuff. And it's like, how long can you keep this bubble alive? And how many lies will Elon tell in this earnings call? And how drunk will he be? You'll hear it for yourself live. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think about any of these questions? And we'll catch you on the next video. So bye.